Hi, welcome to Buckle Up Wildcats, the High School Musical, the series Rewatch podcast. My name is Audrey Ashcraft, and I will be your co-host today.
I'm Haley Clark, and I'm also your co-host.
Slay! Okay, today we are covering Season 2, Episode 6, I believe, yes. Mm-hmm. And this one is titled Yes and. It's in the improv thing. And I have the summary, and I actually wrote it this time. Unlike last time where I just freestyle rapped it. Okay. North High has announced their version of Beauty and the Beast, and East High is in a frenzy. Nina has been given the role of the Rose and is tasked to write an original duet for the Beast and the Rose, while everyone else is tasked with an improv camp. Tensions are high as we uncover... What does that Tensions are high as we uncover the characters, because that's what they do. They break down their characters. I was like, what? All while Courtney and Howie's relationship grows.
Cute.
Thanks for this.
Yay.
Okay, what did you rank this episode, Haley?
I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
That's so good. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I think this is other than the first episode, I think this is the closest to season 1 we've gotten.
I agree. This one was good.
It was fun. I was like, we're back to season 1.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Mm-hmm.
The songs in this episode were Home, the show was called, and the Rose song.
Yeah.
And, okay, in my rankings, I put them both, I think, next to each other. No, I didn't. But I put Home in 11th place. So that's beneath The Perfect Gift and Granted. So I was like, she did a really good job.
It was really good.
It is a cover, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow. And she definitely was live singing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
I have so many thoughts.
So many thoughts. And then the Rose song. Okay, I never know how to rank the Rose song.
Yeah.
Because...
It's good, and Olivia sounds great.
Olivia sounds great, and it's a good song. Like, it's on my playlist. I like to listen to it. And for that reason, I put it in 7th, underneath The Climb, and above When There Was Me and You. When There Was Me and You is so high on here, guys, and I still stand by it. I don't know why. Delusion, probably. But it's hard to rank because I just don't feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't really... understand.
I don't understand it in so many, like, it doesn't make sense in so many levels, but also, like, it's just a fun song.
Yeah. And she sounds great. It's a great song.
It's a great song if that song was, like, on the radio and I didn't have to know what it meant.
Yeah.
But in every context in this show, it makes no sense.
I would not think Rose.
I would be like, you know, this song reminds me of the Rose from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. The Rose that we see 2 times. That is not a person.
We can dive more into that throughout this episode because, oh my gosh. Anyways, that's my rankings that's the songs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on them, like, rank-wise?
I think that's good. I think, like, we've talked about before, that the covers are just, like, usually not as good as the original songs. Mm-hmm. But this one was really good. And I feel like it's from the Beauty and the Beast musical, so it's not as well known as, like, the songs from the actual animated movie. Mm-hmm. So I like it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite and least favorite moment?
My favorite, going along with that, was that scene with Home. Her singing and just, like, the camera angles and the staging, I was like, this is beautiful. Like, I have never seen something in this show that, like, the camera work, I was like, this is amazing. And, like, Gina's part and then Ricky being there, I was, like, gonna cry. I was like, this is art. I have chills right now talking about it. I'm like, it was just so beautiful. I was like, this is amazing. And, like, the guitar, oh my gosh, it was just good.
Like, I love that he just walks up with the guitar.
Yeah, he's like, I got this, guys.
He eats. I feel he does. Mine was, like, my favorite, what I noticed about that scene was, like, I didn't realize how, like, just, like, real the Beauty and the Beast sets were.
Yeah.
Like, in the, like, room, the rehearsal room they were in, I was like, oh my gosh, this, like you're right. Like, it was like, it was beautiful. I was like, holy cow.
You have, like, the set with the stained glass, and then they move, like, the arch over, which I, like, kind of was confused, but I'm like, it added to the cameras and, like, that whole work, and it was so pretty.
It was really nice. Like, even in, like, back corners, you could see, like, her dad's, like, tools. I was like, oh my gosh.
It was so intricately done. And I'm like, this is...
I feel like I'm in Beauty and the Beast right now.
Yeah. They put their whole soul into it.
I was like, this is really good.
Yeah, and I just love that it was, like, helped Gina, and I love, like, she's such a good actress. Like, I'm like, every time she cries, I'm like, girl, you're actually crying right now.
I'm like, were you guys, like, beating Sophia Wiley?
Yeah. Sophia. She's so good. But, yeah, and I love I don't know why Ricky just standing there, like, does something to me, too. But, like,
it just works.
It's just so perfect. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Well, that's so true.
Yeah, my least favorite, I didn't really, like, have a lot to, like, pick out of this, but I think Nene was being a little bit unnecessarily attitude towards Ricky sometimes. I'm like, I kind of get being annoyed, but I don't think anything he said was supposed to make her feel bad.
Yeah.
In this moment. Like, he was just checking in on her sometimes, like, to see how she was doing with the song, and it's probably frustrating that she, like, can't write, but I don't know. I think she took it out on him a little bit too much.
I agree. I also put for my least favorite that it was Nene and Ricky. Mm-hmm. I feel like she was getting way too offended at things, but also he just was both of them were delivering their lines so sharply to one another. Like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, that did not need to be said with, like, the aggression that you brought.
And it was so weird. Like, some scenes they were like so nice, and there was one scene that she was like so nice. I think, like, you called her and she picked up the phone. She was so nice, and then, like, immediately after, she was like so mad at him.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you guys are... And it's weird because I feel like this is so out of character for both characters.
Yes, I agree.
You never see either one of them talk to anyone else like this.
No. The closest we've gotten is when Nene is singing the song with EJ.
Yeah.
And, like, even then, it was not like this.
It was not like this. Even when they were fighting in season 1, like, even when, like I said, even when she was fighting with EJ, like, she wasn't like this. So that was a little bit annoying. But it's fine. I was like, whatever. My favorite part was just, it was funny again.
Yeah.
Like, and they brought back a lot more of the mockumentary style humor. And I was like, no, this is good.
Yeah, I agree. I think this one was good on that.
I was like, I laughed.
Yeah,
like,
there were actually.
It has been a minute since I've laughed watching this show.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
It was good.
Love. Yeah. Utah moments?
This is like maybe a little bit of a stretch, but when Miss Jenn and Michael are having their date and they're talking about, I don't know how many questions
it's like the 60. Yeah.
But then she's like, but it only takes 5 in Salt Lake. And I'm like, I don't know if that was intended to be a joke, but it was funny to me.
I laughed. I definitely think, I was like, that's what I wrote down. I was like, takes 5 in Salt Lake is really funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I
feel it's true.
It is true. Very accurate. Do I think they've earned the right to make jokes like that? Just kidding.
If we're not gonna bring up the elephant in the room.
Yeah. And why is that? Yeah, I thought it was funny. I laughed.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. I guess we're ready to delve into our notes then.
Yeah.
Okay. So Courtney did the recap in this episode. So yeah, hop off, Queen. I don't feel like she really added anything that, like, we didn't.
Yeah.
It's always, I really debate whether or not the recaps were canon because she knew stuff about Gina.
Yeah.
I was like, you should know that.
Yeah.
Unless she was literally just watching her all night. She's like, Gina was crying the entire night. Yeah. No one knew why.
She actually paid attention.
Yeah, honestly, actually, it wasn't like that was hidden.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Haley, guess who we meet in this episode? Yes!
What is even his name?
I don't know his name. I don't think we've said.
No.
The French kid. Guys, oh my gosh.
He's perfect.
He's perfect. He's like, and I'm not even kidding, other than the Gina and EJ plotline, he is far and away the best part of season 2.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like he adds so much to the North High plot. Like,
It's so good. He's so mean. And he's so funny, and I love him.
It's so good. It's so good.
And like, oh my gosh, the fact that he became a big deal is perfect, and I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect, and I love it. Oh my gosh. Star. I can't even remember his name. It's Andrew something with a B.
Yeah.
But there's a middle name in there.
Yeah. Him.
And then his character, I don't know his name. They do give him a name.
I think they do at some point. I don't know that they've said it yet. I don't remember them saying it.
He's just a French kid, and he's so funny, and I'm so glad he's here.
I love it. It's so funny to me.
It's literally perfect.
That, like, promo video was so funny to me. I'm like, it's interesting that the Beast isn't in any of this promo.
That's so
I
true.
understand why for the show, but not for this.
I feel like that happens a lot. Like, I wrote this later.
Yeah.
In this one, I think. Let me make sure. Oh, where Ashland's, they focus so much on Belle.
Yeah.
And not a lot on the Beast.
Yeah.
When, like, Ashland has a line in this episode where she's like, I'm half of the title.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and the other half is Ricky, okay? So, like, I think you're gonna look the best.
Yeah. Yeah. You will make up for it.
I think you'll be okay.
It is so interesting. I feel like the Beast is so overlooked as a character in both of these adaptations.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't understand how, but whatever. But they're like, Lumiere is actually the male lead.
Yeah.
In Beauty and the Beast.
Don't ask us about Cogsworth.
Yeah.
We don't.
North High also doesn't have Cogsworth that we know.
We only know 3 characters that they have.
Yeah.
And at this point, actually only 2.
Yeah.
So.
And the wolf.
And the wolves. And they have
Blaze something?
Yeah.
There's a fan account for him.
Yeah, okay. And Zachy Roy is probably in it, honestly.
Maybe he's Cogsworth.
Maybe he's Cogsworth. I feel like that's against the Minky rules, which we hold so dearly. Like the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nini is re-wearing that outfit.
Yeah.
So I was
That's why I was like so confused.
I was like, maybe it's this episode? Because I knew she was wearing it when she stood with the rose prop.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, wait, is that in the last episode? But no. So maybe it could have been this episode she was crying in the video, but I'm like pretty sure it was the last episode.
Probably. This part
I saw her.
Didn't see. Like, this episode, there was some weird tension, but they weren't, like, even together for most of the time, so... And all of their phone calls were probably not done together, you know? So...
When they're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, we're back in that outfit.
Was she just in the same outfit, or is it supposed to be, like...
It has to be she was just in the same outfit.
Yeah.
Because I think she's the only one.
The timeline can't...
There's no way.
I don't understand. Yeah, that's so funny.
I don't know why they would put her in the same outfit 2 episodes in a row. My guess is, okay, I don't think that they filmed this season chronologically.
Yeah.
If I was to guess.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Just because, like, I think the spring break episode was the first one they filmed. Or, if I was to guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not, actually. I don't know.
I could see that. I was thinking a little bit about, like, this episode and the last episode. They seem kind of like maybe they could have been swapped in place. But I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, that's interesting.
And maybe it just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't.
The camera crew was brutal with Gina when they just showed the exit sign.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all are haters.
They're like,
heck?
leave. There's the door. I hate Gina so much.
I was like, why do you guys... I've honestly liked Gina more and more with every rewatch.
Yeah.
Well, I guess just this one.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I was like, that was really mean, Cameron.
Yeah. I also noticed that Gina and EJ were sitting next to each other, and Ricky and Nene were sitting next to each other, but they were like this far apart. And Olivia was like this the whole time. I feel like they kept like cutting back to like the same clip, so maybe she wasn't like this the whole
She
time.
was setting it.
But
That's so real.
it's like,
I see you guys.
But they were still like nice to each other. I don't know. So
Okay, my thing is, this Rose song doesn't make any sense. The idea that the Rose would be singing a song in of itself doesn't make any sense.
No.
And then the fact that it's a duet with the Beast also doesn't make any sense. But I guess if we're making a Rose song, it might as well be a duet with the Beast.
Yeah.
Also, the Rose isn't a character. And if you're gonna make a Rose duet beat, like, the Beast is not a fan of the Rose.
No. And there's like the line she says, "You love me, but for the wrong reasons." And I'm like, what is that? Does he even love the Rose
I was
at
like,
all?
I don't think he likes the Rose. Like, because I could see it being... I could see what they're going for.
Yeah.
Like, on paper, like, they're writing, like, this metaphor about how, like, the Rose represents...
Something.
His old life, or, like, whatever. But it's not a positive relationship. I could not put my hair back there. I look bald.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just vague.
I'm just like...
And we don't know the Beast's relationship with the Rose in any
He doesn't
adaptation.
have one.
No.
He probably needs a Rose.
Like, it doesn't make sense. I would feel like if there was something with, like, the Enchantress at the beginning and she'd sing a song, that would make more sense.
That would make, like, leaps and bounds more sense. I feel like there is, too.
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
never seen the musical. Or maybe actually so transparent.
I've seen it at Disney, but I don't even think that I think that's just, it's not even the whole thing.
Yeah, because I could see him doing, well, yeah, that's a good point. They should have just done the sorceress.
Yeah.
She sings.
And she could even come back and be like, bro.
Or, like, come back, like, as the Rose, kind of, like, a metaphor there.
That she's, like, that would make more sense. She's an actual person.
That is a person. And either way, it's not going to be a positive relationship.
No.
It's not, oh my gosh, I love this Rose. I severely think you guys missed the point of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was just like, why would it be a duet? I also feel like a Belle duet would... No. Actually, I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe I'm taking that back. Like a Belle thing where she kind of sees what's going on, maybe could be... I don't know.
Yeah. If the Rose song was, like, a different theme, I could see it being, like, Belle.
Yeah.
Talking to the Rose and, like... I don't know.
I just don't think it makes sense.
No, I don't either.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what your next note is, but when he tells her to quiet her voice...
Yeah.
First off, I don't know what the script looked like there.
Yeah.
But that was really mean.
Yeah.
But I could see it being said not, like, mean. Like, I could see his intentions not being mean. And I could see her not taking it mean. Like, I feel like if they were in a better place, they wouldn't have.
Yes.
I was just like, that was kind of mean. But I feel like that's the only time he's been, like, mean.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Sometimes he will bite back.
Yeah. He does do that sometimes. I don't even know. I just put Carlos as funny, and I don't know what's that.
He is.
I don't remember what... I was like, I'll remember what he said. I don't remember.
Is it when he's the Lumiere?
Yes.
Yeah, it's because I remember that too. I was like, Seb's an icon, and I giggled when he's the hula hooping. I love that scene, and then she throws the ball. This scene is so funny, and he throws the ball, and he's like, ow.
Yeah, no, that was it, because I was like, that's hilarious.
And I missed that. I missed Carlos's humor being in the old season.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's just so funny.
We are, like, losing so much by not getting that Carlos Big Red humor in this season.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I'm like, I don't...
Seb is trying to hold this up. Seb and EJ are doing their best, and you guys are just... But no one else is trying.
No. That's so real. Yeah, and I love Gina's hair.
It looks so good.
It looks so good. I'm like, girl.
No, actually, I was like,
she has my favorite hairstyles, I feel like. Her and Courtney. Mm-hmm. But, like, Gina's is always different.
It's so cool.
And I love it.
Like, it always looks so good.
Yeah.
Her hair was really good in this episode.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Okay. This is a little bit ahead, but not like that much. I've always been kind of agreeing with the opinion that Ashlyn's kind of annoying in this episode, or this season. But watching a little bit older, with a new mindset, I completely understand both Gina and Ashlyn's sides.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they're necessarily fighting with each other.
Yeah. I think they just have their own external influences happening.
Mm-hmm. And I think they are both being a little bit dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, we could get over things, but also they're high school girls.
Yeah.
And I understand why they're acting that way.
Yeah. It's interesting to me, like, I feel like there's been quite a few episodes where Ashlyn feels very insecure in this role. And she, like, talks about that in her confessionals, but we never address it as, like, the theater program never addresses it. Yeah. And I'm like, there's, like, her thoughts and her feelings are so valid, and it would be, like, it's interesting that they don't explore that at all.
And I feel like, because there's the one scene where Gina says she's a cartoon.
Yeah.
But, like, Miss Jenn should be, why is her focus so heavy on Ricky right now?
Yeah. When
your leading lady is so obviously drowning.
Yeah. I feel like there could be such a good heart-to-heart moment with her and Miss Jenn, and, like, talking about, like, just, like, there's no right way to do it. Just, like, be your own person.
Yeah. Or, like, why she casted her.
Yeah.
Because she does deserve that role.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she deserves to hear that. And I feel like she's getting so overlooked in that. And maybe she's, like, not really telling anyone, but I feel like that would be such a good thing to talk about and bring that.
Yeah. I just feel like if it was, like, another female lead in that role, Miss Jenn would have stepped in and said something.
Yeah. I agree.
She would have, like, even if Ashlyn's not saying anything explicitly, it's so obvious that she's struggling.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. And Gina's the only one who is hearing about it or is doing anything about it. But even that, it's, like, so little because Gina's doing her own crap.
Yeah.
I just, like, is Miss Jenn, like, going into practice with a blindfold? Like, how is she missing all of these problems?
I don't know. I'm like, who are you actually focused on? It feels like all of her focus is on Nene, who's not even
it's like on Nene and Ricky.
It's fine. I'm glad that they have that relationship, but, like, and I understand, like, her and Ricky's, like, dynamic is kind of strange right now, and she does put a lot of focus on him, but also not as an actor. Like, I'm like, Ricky, you're not doing your job as the base right now.
Ricky is... The three people we have running this show, with the exception of Carlos, are all having this mental turmoil, and she's not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But then she's like, can we all please focus on the show? And I'm like, can you?
Can we actually...
Can we?
Address some... I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah. It definitely is nice, though. I'm like...
Yeah.
I don't think Ashlyn's being annoying.
Mm-mm.
I think that both her and Gina are both just going through it, and they really only have each other for some reason.
Yeah, and I like that the show, like, has moments like that, because that's real life, and, like, when you're around people all the time, like, they are your friends, but you're also gonna fight and say the wrong thing and regret it and whatever, like...
Yeah. And I like that even when they fight, because they do. This is probably the most fighting we've seen between two characters. Not whatever Nene and Ricky are doing right now.
Yeah.
But they actually talk about it still, and I like that. Like, Ashlyn being like, don't move because I did that. Like,
yeah. I agree.
Where else am
I definitely wrote something. Oh, that was just a little bit. I don't even know if any of this matters.
I wrote about, my next thing is about Miss Jenn and Ricky, like, having their back and forth.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you have something before that.
I just had...
I don't really remember
a couple things.
Like, chronologically.
Yeah. This one, I feel like so much it's all, like, so similar. I don't know. It was just funny to me that they were, like, 5 questions, and then she only ever asked 2 questions.
Yeah.
And she kept checking her paper every time. That was so funny to me. She's like, what question is? You've only asked 2.
She's like, if you could live in any book, what would it be? And then the next person's like,
Hold on.
You
It was so good.
I was like, okay, there is 3 other questions we get to address.
I don't know what they are. They're like, we can only come up with 2.
And one of them is, what kind of book would you want to live in?
This is how you find your future spouse in Utah. What book would you live in? And where do you see yourself? Or what would you ask your future self? That's it.
It's obsessed. Maybe if I looked at the news clipper, I could read the other 3, but I don't know. Probably small font.
Yeah. And then my next one was just that scene with Gina and Ricky. And it's definitely that they filmed it later.
Yes. The flashback?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my thoughts with this flashback scene. I really go back and forth if they filmed it later or not.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they filmed it during the time as like a maybe.
Yeah.
Because
it is hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. And Sophia Wiley's face is not as like defined as it is.
Mm-hmm. She looks like she could have filmed it in season 1. He looks like they filmed it in season 2.
Yeah.
Because I was like looking at like his makeup and just like he looked younger in season 1. And now he looks a little bit older. And they could have done, I don't know, a number of things.
Yeah, I'm like, I do think the first bit of it, where him and Nene kiss again, is still from season 1.
I agree.
That's a question I would want to ask, because I feel like, which is weird, because I feel like we've said that these 2 are the ones that have grown up the most.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't tell.
Yeah, she does look younger, and I definitely thought that.
Because I was like, I've always thought that they went back and refilmed it. But I'm like, her face is thinned out, and it's not in that.
Yeah. And I have a hard time, I don't know.
But it doesn't make sense plot-wise. I kind of think they filmed it, my current theory, the only evidence of that is that she looks young.
Yeah.
Is that they filmed it then as like a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll use this.
That's interesting.
But because initially, like 2 episodes ago, I was like, I think this was an after COVID. But after seeing that clip, I always go back and forth on that clip.
It's hard. And I don't know, like, what would be the dead giveaway that it was. Because the only thing that was really tipping me off was I was watching him more than her. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he looks different, but also, like, the angle is different. And they could have filmed it, like, a different day. And so his makeup wasn't exactly the same or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I do think there are 2 separate shots between when him and Nene are talking and when she comes in. Yeah. I think that's completely separate. But I don't know when
I just don't that happened. That's my biggest thing. Because I could even see that being, like, it was season 2, but it was pre-COVID.
Yeah. They just...
I don't know. That would be a question I would really want to ask. We have a random list of... We'll add it to our random list of questions to ask. If anyone ever wants to talk to us.
Yeah.
We'll be like, when is this scene filmed? Because I need to know.
Yeah, that's important.
Okay, this is a little bit before, but okay. When she does the question thing with Ricky, I do... Okay, the first question he didn't... But also, I think that what book you want to be in is a really weird question to ask the Beauty and the Beast characters, because I don't feel like Gaston's answer was good either, and I actually feel like Gaston should have said none. In character.
Yeah, he also can't read.
I'm like, I get that's not the point of the exercise, because they're supposed to, like, think about their character, but even then, I don't think EJ's answer is good. But...
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good question to ask Beauty and the Beast, a show that's entirely based off the fact that she's weird because she reads.
Yeah.
So why...
No, that's so real.
There's 4 other questions.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I feel like when he asks, like, what you want to be, I think that, like, Ricky did try, and I think that it's very obvious they tried, and he looks very nervous, and I think that she did push way too far.
Yeah, and I do feel like I kind of keep making the same excuses for Ricky, that he's, like, going through a lot, but, like, he is.
But, like, he's going through a lot.
And she also knows that, or should know that.
Yeah.
And, like, I understand. Like, he's very clearly uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, like,
and he gave a good answer.
His little, like, shoot thing.
Yeah.
He gave a good answer, and then he explained it again, and then when she kept saying, okay, well, I want to push more, and he was like, I don't feel comfortable pushing more.
Yeah.
Because let's be so for real, that is so obviously about his personal life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, like, don't play stupid. It's dumb, but it's dumb.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah.
The scene into the flashback. Sorry, this is also back to the flashback. I had to jump around on it.
Yeah.
It's so dramatic. When she's like, you just told me you went back for something you want. I was just like, yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah. I don't think that, I don't know. It feels, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. But they don't bring it up until after the post-COVID episodes. That's the thing where I'm like, but I could still see him having it on the back burner and then not deciding to use it and then being like, oh, maybe we should use it actually because this.
Yeah.
I don't know when they filmed it. I have to think about that.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's so many Target bags in this episode.
Yeah.
And they're like Target bags.
That's so funny.
Did Target sponsor this episode?
Probably, I guess. That's so funny.
My next comment is about home, but I literally just put that Julia Lester is so good. But I feel like we already got that point across.
I just talked about the staging was beautiful, and I literally was gonna cry when I was watching it, but my roommate was in the room. I'm like, I can't cry right now.
I have to say, watching this show and actively taking notes while your roommate is in the room is a truly humbling experience.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm doing homework.
My roommate comes in and laughs every time, and I go,
great.
Thank you. Truly humbling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the love confession between Howie and... Okay, I literally had a thought during this. So, Courtney says, like, a line, and she says, like, low-key or whatever, and I was like, low? Sorry. I was like, they write... This show, for the most part, does a pretty good job of incorporating slang and them sounding like real kids without sounding so cringy. There's a couple lines, like when he says, like, okay, boomer. Yeah. That are cringy, but, like, for the most part, because, like, the way that Courtney talks about, like, she used a lot of slang in there, and it came off very natural. Yeah.
And I wonder, like, if the writers write that in, or if the actors had some, like, leeway to kind of
just
adapt. Yeah. Because I feel like that she does it organically, which makes sense.
So then I had that thought. And then immediately after, Howie says, I feel like a Gryffindor who's found by or Ravenclaw. And I said, guys, I take it back.
No, that was...
You don't deserve that compliment.
It was so bad.
So I was like...
I also don't feel like he's a Gryffindor. I only feel like they said that because of something else. But...
Wait, acts in other episodes? No, I don't think that's a Gryffindor.
No, if I had to choose... I think Courtney would be a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
I think Howie would be a Slytherin.
That's
or
so
a Hufflepuff.
He does like to argue, though. Because I was going to say, like, Hufflepuff is like, no, he does like to argue. That man is not... Would not
and,
describe
like,
him as
from
loyal.
the first time we met him, he was just, like... arrogant and like
no, you're so right. Arrogance is his thing. Yeah. What is their Slytherin trait?
They're like
ambitious.
Pretty sure, ambition. I don't know.
I feel like you could argue that Courtney. I feel like in the context of this show, Courtney would be a Gryffindor because her whole thing is learning to be brave. Yeah, and that she is brave.
Yeah, and I feel like she has.
But they do show her being really smart. Like, that's something that they want us to know. There's a lot more showing versus telling there.
I know she's really smart.
I mean, telling versus showing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I don't know, she could be either.
Either way, such a cringy line. I was like...
that was...
Or when they walked into this is earlier, and he's like, I think you're like a Ravenclaw with, like, a Hufflepuff moon. I was like, what?
This is not zodiac signs.
Not zodiac signs.
What? Yeah, no, it was...
Are you?
A little bit. cringy.
Yeah.
But it was funny to me with, like, Courtney's speech, too. And I get that this is kind of the point because Nene's, like, watching all of this, and this is, like, how she finds inspiration for her song.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, actually, the things that Courtney are saying are kind of a jab at Nene's relationship. She's like, I don't want to lose myself and change because of a guy and be different around.
So real. However, Courtney has always said that.
Yeah. She has
about Nene's relationship, admittedly.
She's like, you met Ricky and
then you met a completely different person. No.
Yeah. And so maybe, like, that's probably she grew up saying that. She's like, I'm not going to do that. Which is valid. It's just funny.
No. Don't want that.
Yeah.
I never noticed until the scene where Ricky comes in to talk to Miss Jenn. Just how big and how many times that High School Musical poster says Miss Jenn on it.
I know.
I knew it said Miss Jenn Presents, but today it just made me laugh so hard. Yeah. And then it says directed by Miss Jenn. And the fact this is Miss Jenn, all of it gets me. It's so funny.
That's so funny. I have never seen a poster say the director's name, honestly.
Have you ever seen
the
one with
school name?
Yeah, have you ever seen one with the drama
no.
teacher's name massive at the top?
I don't even know if I've seen one with the actual theater kids in it. So I was like, what is this? They put so much effort into that.
Yeah.
Did she make it?
Yeah.
I'm sure she did.
I'm certain she did. It is interesting that Miss Jenn is the one to tell Ricky to call his mom now, when that has traditionally been the Nene thing to do.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Also, if she did miss him, maybe she shouldn't have abandoned him. But we don't have time to unpack all of that. She wasn't even in this episode.
Yeah.
We will save that.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any notes before the Rose song?
No.
Okay, we gotta talk about the Rose song. We've already said it. It doesn't make sense. It is definitely an active jab at Ricky.
Yeah.
And the fact that she ends the voicemail by saying, don't tell Ricky, active jab. She writes him out of the duet. It shouldn't have been a duet. It shouldn't have been a song, actually. Yeah. So I guess I have no problem with it being a duet. Song makes no sense.
Yeah.
None at all.
It doesn't. Also, like, it just, like, nothing, no line makes sense. I guess the reason that the rose is there is not because of the beast, but basically it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, this rose has been alive for like 35 years, so it would not still be alive if
not for the beast.
It wasn't for the beast. And it's like, the whole, like, I am more than what I am to you doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And then it also doesn't make sense in the context of Nene and Ricky's relationship either. Because wasn't this the plot we went through the first season?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, all my life I've seen myself through your eyes. Okay, we literally covered that last season.
Yeah.
Love me, but for all the wrong reasons. And then it's like, so, I think it's a really weird song. She's like, you tell me that I'm beautiful, but I think that's an understatement. And like, okay, but like, what do you want then? What do you?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. What is?
Because, okay, the line before is, I feel trapped on this pedestal you put me on. So let's say he's like put her really high up and she just can't live to these expectations. That's what that line tells me, okay? Mm-hmm. And the next one is, you tell me I'm beautiful, but I think that's an understatement. So now he's not complimenting you enough. Yeah.
Remember, Nene, when we were talking about how the internet is a contradiction?
Yeah, remember that?
This song is a contradiction.
It just sounds like she just wants something to complain about.
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
And yeah, and you say I'm perfect, but I got thorns on my petals too. Okay, you say that I'm beautiful, I think that's unless he's just saying beautiful as in like perfect, and that's not. And she's got so much more, but I don't know if understatement is the word.
Yeah.
You watched me wither, and now you'll watch me bloom. That doesn't make any sense.
Girl.
In the context of this rose.
No, it doesn't.
The whole point is that that's like writing a song.
Rose dies.
Yeah. Because that's the point.
Once he falls in love. Yeah.
It's like a clock of how much time he has to fall in love. That's like writing a song about an hourglass, and the hourglass being like, you watch me fall and count time, but I'm going to rise up, apparently.
Defy the laws of gravity.
You're like, but that's your whole purpose.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And it doesn't really make sense in the context of Ricky and Nene either, because he let her go to Denver. She's the one who decided she didn't want to be in Denver.
Yeah, and he didn't ask her to come back until she was actually back.
No. And now she's acting like he's the one who's holding her back. And he's the one who's like advocated for her to have this song anyways.
No, literally, he's like actively I can't even deal with her anymore.
I'm like, girl, be so for real.
Be so for real.
I love you, Nene. She just has unnecessary beef.
No, literally. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And we all know it doesn't make any sense. So, I also, did Miss Jenn, we find this out in the next, no, I probably shouldn't bring this up then. But yeah, I just think that song makes no sense. And that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a dig at Ricky, like 100%.
Yeah. I just don't even understand the logistics of the musical in general, where this would fit in.
Yeah, what scene?
Is she gonna be the rose in every scene and she's just standing there?
Stand there?
Like, I don't understand.
What? I don't get it. Anyways, other than that, that's all the notes I have.
Me too.
Okay. So, for our show today, I think we should cast The Hunchback of Notre Dame because it's an Alan Menken.
Yes.
And I think for the rest of the season we should just do Alan Menken. So.
That's a good one.
To match the vibe.
Yeah.
And I was like, Hunchback is one that we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the cast for Hunchback because, like, I know Hunchback of Notre Dame. I probably shouldn't just call it Hunchback. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Let's look at the cast list. Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
So we have Frollo, bad guy. Quasimodo, Hunchback. Esmeralda.
Yes.
Yeah. Other people.
Phoebus.
Yeah, Phoebus. Which one's that?
He's the blonde guy. That's the love interest guy.
Yes. I was like, there's other characters in the movie, but I don't know who they are.
And there's the gargoyles.
There's the gargoyles, which I think Olivia Rodrigo should be a gargoyle.
Yeah. There's also the guy. What's his name?
What's his name?
I don't even know how to say it. It's Clopin, and he's the jester guy.
Clopin?
Yeah.
That's what we're going with, yeah.
It's some French name. It's French pronunciation, but it's that.
I think we can just do those.
Yeah, I think that's good.
How many gargoyles are there? 3?
There's 3.
Are they actually in the musical? Or is that just a Disney edition?
I don't know.
Because I know people hate the gargoyles. But I don't know. We've already done a bunch of them.
I don't know. But it's funny because their names are, 2 of them are called Victor and Hugo, and the guy that wrote the book is Victor Hugo. He also wrote Les Mis. Wow.
Okay, so who is going to play like Dr. Trace, and I'm like certain they'd make Big Red play Quasimodo.
They would.
And it would be so messed up because Ricky gets the lead all the time until it's like a Hunchback and then it's Big Red. And then it's like,
they would, though. And Ricky would get to be Phoebus.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, he would. And then, sorry, EJ, I hope you enjoy being Frollo.
Oh my gosh. That's so bad.
And Esmeralda is definitely a controversial character, but
yeah.
I think she's cool. Let's see.
I like Esmeralda.
Does Esmeralda have a heavy dance role? I feel like she does. So I feel like we have to do Gina.
I think Gina would slay it.
I think Gina would slay. And then Claudeline, I feel like we should do as a girl, just because.
Yes.
So maybe Ashlyn? Because we have Ashlyn and Courtney left.
I could see either of them.
And then we need 3 gargoyles. I'm pretty sure there's 3. And one of them is Olivia Rodrigo. Nene.
Yeah. There's one girl, I think.
Perfect. Carlos and Seb?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, perfect. So that's a cute little setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
So we have Big Red as Quasimodo. Sorry, it's not funny, but it is.
It's funny.
Gina as Esmeralda. EJ as Frollo. I definitely have not said that consistently, and definitely both of them are wrong. PBS is Ricky. Toplin is Ashlyn. And our gargoyles are Mimi, Carlos, and Seb.
Yay.
So that's that showcast. Yippee-doo-dah. So slay. Okay, well then I think that's everything. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Make sure to listen to us on Spotify or YouTube. Honestly, whichever one you guys are on right now, chill, so fine. But yeah, make sure to listen to us there. Follow us on our TikTok. Today we're actually been vlogging our filming days.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely already seen the TikTok by the time this airs.
Go watch
hopefully.
it again.
Yeah, go watch it again. Honestly, yeah. And so hopefully, you're gonna see some like behind the scenes information of like what we do. But most of our time, our TikTok is just jokes.
Yeah.
Because we think we're funny.
We are
funny. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks so much for watching. And yeah, good day. Bye.
Bye.